Greetings, freaks and geeks. Welcome to the Square Round Table podcast. Tonight, we have the pleasure of hosting an amazing artist and a draftswoman that truly knows how to find beauty in the grotesque and sometimes haunting realities of the human experience. Please, guys, welcome Miss Laurie Lipton.
What's going on?
He's from Planet Lipton.
Hey. So wait a second. So are you a Star Trek fan?
I grew up with that kind of stuff.
Definitely.
He thought he found a Trekkie. He was
all right, I got kind of excited.
I saw Star Trek when Captain Kirk was actually thin and had his hair. That's how old I am. That's how
wow.
No, because he looks like completely different now. So it's like it's not even the same person. Like he's his grandfather now. It's crazy. but yeah, like once again, I wanted to say that I'm so happy to have you tonight because I've been a fan of your work for a while, and it's just really a full circle experience. I almost can't remember how I got into your artwork. I remember watching. I think one time I was going into a YouTube deep dive, and I always watch stuff like I'm a huge fan of horror stories and the Twilight Zone. And I guess somewhere in there, your artwork popped up, and I watched the videos like of you painting or of you drawing and your interviews. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I would love to speak to her someday. She's such a compelling artist. And the fact that you're here is crazy. So thank you so much again.
My pleasure. My pleasure. You're a man of very good taste.
Thank you. See, guys, she gets it. You know, like she understands.
See, guys, yeah, she gets me, right? She gets me. She understands that. She got me.
Definitely. I asked all of my, guests because we've been going through a lot of craziness. I just want to know for you this year and the last year, how have you been, holding up? How's the mental health been and all of that good stuff while trying not to go crazy inside?
Since my mental health was already upside down, I was safe. I'm already totally insane. But I thought when the pandemic hit, I would be totally screwed, and not in a good way, because the arts are the first thing that go belly up when the economy tanks. But because of my huge social media following and the fact that I can't do anything else, I used to waitress when I was in my 20s. I can't do that anymore. I can't do it. I'm useless. All I can do is draw. So I had to survive by drawing. So I made these little like commission pieces, because usually my work, like the thing behind me is 6 foot by 12 foot. And these tiny little 12-inch by 12-inch commissions for fans, because so they could afford my work. And I survived. I survived very well. And I didn't have to go to openings. I didn't have to go to dinner parties. I was so happy. Wonderful.
Oh, I understand. I'm the same way. Like, definitely, I think all of the guys here, we're just like introverts. If we could just not have to do all the extra stuff, because usually I'll have to go on all kind of meetings and go travel to see people and go to different events. I'm just so, it sounds kind of morbid, but just saying, hey, I can't go out, it's not safe. I'm just like, yes, I get to be at home and not have to see anybody.
Also, the Zoom thing is so fabulous. It's really good. And I got to speak to people all over the world, and I didn't have to put any pants on. I have pants on now, by the way. I'm just saying. But, it's so convenient. I just draw and Zoom, and it was great. I know people were suffering, and a lot of my friends went crazy. You never know who's going to go nuts when, it's really bizarre.
It is.
Yeah.
I was able to help them. I'm already crazy, so it's okay. Right.
You're like, hey, here's how you be crazy. Here's step 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
It's like, welcome to my world.
I've been this the entire time. Now you're seeing where I see things. Like, now we're at the same level. We were in different spaces before.
Exactly. I'm just like, I already stay inside all the time. So this is no different from me. You're just seeing it from my point of view now.
But yeah, one thing I wanted to talk about was your Zoom piece that you drew. While we're talking about like Zoom and being an introvert, I really love that piece because everybody's on mute, and it just says a lot about how everything is now. It's like,
I put it in my background? Should I put it in my background?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I'll do it quickly because I was so inspired by, is this the one? Yeah, by all the crazy stuff that was going on. My work was about crazy stuff to begin with and the insanity of life and the pursuit of happiness. And the COVID thing made everything accentuated and even crazier. People got seriously insane. Everything they were got they got accentuated basically. And it was such a treasure trove for me to draw. I have a whole new show and I'm trying to get somewhere, but it's really disturbing. People are showing right now in LA, they're showing colors and bright canvases and funny little sculptures. I don't think they want to see this shit.
I definitely do. I love it.
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah.
The thing is when you're in front of it, because this behind me is, I'm guessing it's about 4 foot by 5 foot or so, 5.5 feet. So when you see it up close, it's so different than on a screen. And you can see here it looks like a photograph, but when you see it in the flesh, it looks like a very detailed drawing. And people go, it's like they're seeing it for the first time, even though they know my work.
Right.
And I work with a tiny little, like a click pencil. So this stuff, which is 4 foot by 5.5 foot, this is why I didn't go out before the pandemic. And I don't really have a social life. I just sit there and I put music on and I'm like, for hours.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah.
I just love that because I draw myself, but I don't do anything like that. Actually, I'm a way better artist than Chad. Just putting that out there.
Wow! Anytime you can take a shot at him, he's gonna take a shot.
But anyway.
I believe him because his backdrop is better.
Okay, I'll take that. Okay.
Hey, you see, he ain't throw no shot at me, Chad. He know not to come this way.
Yeah, okay.
He know who the real deal is up in here in the artist field.
Yeah. All right.
but the way I draw is nuts. It's literally insane because what I draw, I really wanted to teach myself how to paint like the early Renaissance, late medieval painters, those big religious paintings where you can see the city in the background and you can go all that detail. When I first saw those, I went, I want to do that. But I went to school in the 70s and it was all conceptual. You throw the paint at the canvas with your eyes closed kind of art.
Yeah, that Jackson Pollock stuff.
Yeah, everyone's doing pseudo Jackson Pollock stuff now. But anyway, so I said to my teachers, I want to paint like Van Eyck and Memling. And they went, no, stop it.
Oh, man.
Oh, wow.
So I tried to teach myself. I went to the library. I got all these books on the early Renaissance, late medieval painters. And I bought all these sable brushes, and I was a poor student. And those sable brushes cost a lot of money. Yes. And I tried to teach myself how to do egg tempera painting, which is tiny little white lines over an imprimatura, which is a color. So you're building up form with tiny little crosshatch lines, and then you glaze the color over that. That's how they did it on a board. And I thought, ooh, I can do that. Well, I couldn't, actually. It was really to do it myself, to figure it out. But then when I was traveling around Europe as a poor art student, I couldn't afford the brushes and the paints. And also it smelled a lot and I didn't have a place to crash really. So I got pencils and started automatically drawing like an egg tempera painting. So
there you go.
Yeah. So that's crazy. No one's making me do this. I'm torturing myself, basically.
That's crazy because I was wondering with charcoal and like pencil, how do you get those like values and just make it look so realistic? Because your style is vastly different from what some of my art teachers would say, like as far as giving me, because I love black and white too. Like I'm totally a fan of like black and white art. But what I would do is use like a shading tool and smudge. And I know that's not really your thing.
You flatten it. You flatten the paper. See, my technique allows the paper to come through, even if it's black. And because I'm doing little crosshatch line, so you still get some depth. In fact, you get a lot of depth. If you smudge that, it flattens it immediately.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. But it's just that your method, it shows through. Work is amazing, but it just takes so long to do it.
No, it's not. It's crazy. No one, in fact, there would never be someone who like copied my art and sold it as my art because it's not worth the effort. It really isn't. It's just they couldn't do it.
Yeah, it's a lot. Like I just, what were you about to say, Dmitri?
I was just saying it's a lot because like I'm just thinking like a little pencil. I'm like that's too much dedication to the cause, man. I would have given up like halfway through. I'd have made one mistake and I'd be like, yeah, this ain't for me. I'm gonna go get a brush, okay? Like I gotta do something that shows that I can appreciate the work you put into it because like of how much you have to do to get everything right. Like hats off. I couldn't do it, but hats off to the craft.
Seriously, I feel the same way.
Yeah, like definitely like hats off to the craft for sure, because I can't understand how someone could just draw so many faces over and just not just go just off the cracker, like in what was it, Pandora's Box?
Yeah.
Off the cracker. That's
yes. This is just like
my cracker's been off for such a long time. It isn't. No, it is insane. It is insane, and when you see them in person, it's even more insane. It's really nuts. But for me, it's a kind of, first of all, my subject matter is something I'm passionate. If I'm not passionate, I'm not going to waste my time. You know?
Yep. Makes sense. I get that.
I'm not going to draw a sheet. I'm not going to draw a shoe unless I like. I'm not doing that. I am drawing stuff that makes me angry. I mean, in modern life, in the 21st century, there's so much stuff that makes me so angry. And this is my way of getting it out. And for me, this is very interesting. It's controlled passion because I'm not doing like this. It's very controlled. Yeah. Oh my God, I frightened Demetrius off.
Oh, no worries, it happened.
So with that being said, I think it's really interesting, just your choice of working with Grayscale. I just wanted to know, as far as drawing stuff that makes you angry, how does like working in Grayscale like work as far as explaining your narrative for your pictures?
Well, I grew up with the Twilight Zone.
Yes. Come on.
There you go. Here we go.
Oh. That's all you had to say.
My name is Talking Tina, and I'm going to kill you. Yes. I grew up with black and white TV. All the B movies, the B movies were in black and white on my TV. On my little set, we had an antenna. We had to move around to get the right picture, and I had to actually get up and change the channel. I know the concept is a bit odd, but I had to get up and change the channel. It was all black and white. And also, I don't know if you're familiar with Diane Arbus. She's a photographer. Look up her work. She's very disturbing work. And it's just portraits of people in New York, but it's really disturbing. And
I have to look that up.
It's in black and white. If you add color to Diane Arbus, it makes it less odd.
Whoa. You know? Yeah, I'm looking at some of that stuff right now.
It's the whole atmosphere of black and white. And I thought, wow, because I did paint at one point because I was not making any money doing black and white disturbing pencil drawings. Who knew?
Right. That's crazy.
So I started painting a little bit and I sold them immediately. And I got so angry because I was a lousy painter. I didn't do it a lot, but I was a good drawer. So that was the last time I painted. I thought, screw you guys. I don't know.
So was the subject matter the same when you switched to painting?
That's a good question. No, it was more like people, like a portraiture kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was more mundane too, but it
was less exciting for you. So it's why it's like, why you do it?
So boring. Oh, yeah.
No, I understand that. It's just like it. I guess in that vein, it starts to feel like a job, and it feels like you're less like you're relaxing, and like you said, with the passive aggressive brushstrokes.
Oh, passive aggressive. Yeah, my pencil strokes are passive aggressive.
But
so, go ahead, Josh.
But yeah, if you don't like painting, I'm sure you don't like digital art at all.
No, it's not that I don't like painting, and it's not that I don't like digital art. It's just it doesn't suit my message.
Right.
My voice.
Oh,
okay.
So if I had grown up with digital art, I'm pre-internet, when the dinosaurs roamed the earth. We had landlines and we couldn't walk out with the phones or anything. It was lovely. No one could get in touch with you. It was great. Then I would have perhaps been a digital artist. I probably would have been a digital artist.
Oh, okay, so it was
okay.
No, that makes sense. In that vein, I just want to know a little bit about your background. Like, for instance, like, where are you from? Like, where did you grow up? And like, growing up, what was your relationship with art? Were you always really involved in drawing, or like, where did that come?
Man, I grew up in New York City. I was born in the Bronx.
Nice.
And my dad and mom both worked. My mom was a teacher, and she needed Sunday to mark her papers and do her work. So my dad used to take my brother and I to the museums, and the Museum of Modern Art. My brother and my dad would go through the entire museum, and I would stand in front of one painting the whole time. In fact, my dad once took me, I think I was 7 years old, and there was a painting, and it's called Hide and Seek. It's color by Pavel Tchelichev. That's not easy to say, but it was a huge tree. This painting took up the whole wall, and it was on fire. And I stood like this, and then as you got closer to the tree, you saw that was made up of children fighting.
Oh.
Yeah. And I was like, and my father and my brother, they had lunch, they did all 3 floors, they went to the basement, and I was like, I got a crowd around me, not around the painting. They were around me because I was a 7-year-old standing in totally still in front of this painting. I was trying to burn it in my eyeballs because I never wanted to forget it. I didn't know you could buy a book or a poster. I was stupid. But I was like, I don't want to forget this. Look at this. This is amazing. I want to do something like this. And that's when I woke up as an artist in MoMA. Totally.
Wow. So were you, as far as the subject matter, like, when did you kind of transition to painting this kind of imagery? We'll talk about it a little later. Like, a lot of your artwork deals with specifically like death, or like deals with technology or just modernity. Were you always interested in these kind of different subjects, or?
No, as I said, it's whatever affects me. And I love technology. I love technology, but we don't know who's in control of that stuff, and what we're being fed and why. And when some misinformation goes around, everyone picks it up. We're so easily led. We're like sheep. It's unbelievable. I mean, I'm not going to talk about the past guy who was in the White House, but that whole thing was just amazing. I used to ask my grandma about Hitler, and I said, Grandma, why did everyone in Germany follow that awful man? And yeah, it's easier now to make people follow than ever before because information goes around much quicker than ever before. So technology is fabulous. I love it, but it's so fucking dangerous.
I mean, you didn't even talk about the robots and stuff like that. The Elon Musk like robots he's probably pulling out right now. Even talk about those things.
Yes.
That's supposed to be out what, a couple months from now? He was talking.
No, seriously, it's a lot.
No, it really is. And
technology is dangerous.
Yeah, definitely. And especially like thinking about just the kind of platform that people have to voice their particular opinions on stuff, whether it be good or bad. I especially like your piece, Followers, that was up for sale on NFT. And I just love how it's like the center stage and you have these, like, it's like a concert scene and you have all these people around. And it just goes to show you how, exactly. But yeah, it just goes to show you how, like, you have those people, and of course you have this particular person that they just have this cult following of. Not really a cult following, but they just take in everything that they say. And also not just them, but the people that follow that person have powers.
Exactly. And it's interesting, during the pandemic, people were saying all this stuff that the scientists were wrong and we shouldn't get vaccinated. And so just normal people who have looked up on the web, on the internet, a couple of articles that reinforce their opinions are suddenly they're experts. And meanwhile, guys who have studied in actual accredited academies and got doctor's degrees and everything are bullshitting them. And it's so bizarre. When the internet first came into being, I thought, oh, wow, that's amazing. We can democratize knowledge and facts, and we can make it, everyone will know stuff, and we will advance by leaps and bounds. And look what happened. Cat videos and
First thing they thought about recording on YouTube, cat videos. Nothing else. Groundbreaking information out there. They were like, here you go. Here's my cat video. World of knowledge digitized. Nope.
I'm telling you.
A video a cat doing a backflip.
But yeah, I definitely feel the same way. Like it's crazy because even now we're using a technology to be able to talk to each other and run all in different places. In that way, it's positive. But it's just the one thing, like you were just talking about, Laurie, that really resonates with me is just you have these guys over here that have all of this accreditation and they've been in school 105 years, but it's not like they get a special different platform than just this guy that read one article. We're on a level playing field. So it's just really, at the end of the day, like, who has the biggest following? And regardless of how much I know versus how much somebody else knows, this is really whoever can yell the loudest. That's what's gonna. That's it.
Also, what's very interesting is now we're at a critical point on the planet. There's CO2 gases are being released into the atmosphere because of the ice melting. We're in a really critical point, and people are focused on celebrities and
yeah, that's a weird thing.
Yes.
And it's insane. We should be saying, oh my God, look, we can't drink water and smell the air. What, were you crazy? And this like Kardashians. And
I was just gonna mention them. I literally was gonna mention them. I was gonna say in 2 seconds. Hey, you beat me to
first
it.
ones that come to mind.
You beat me to it. They're on season what, 20 now? Like, look, only reason I know that is because it came on my timeline. I was like, why is this on my timeline? I've never seen an itch of the show, but it's like it comes to you everywhere. You can't escape it. It's like,
Britney Spears, thank God her father has given her conservatorship, but ice caps are melting. I mean, there's plastic in all our food. The fish eating plastic. It's insane. We are insane, and I hope we survive ourselves. As you guys said, there's good and bad in everything. Sure. In us, in myself. There's good and bad in me. Mostly good, but there's some bad as well. And And that's the human race. And I hope to God or whoever's in control of this game or whatever it is, that we survive ourselves, the bad bits of ourselves, because we're destroying ourselves. And while we're doing it, we're on iPhones, we're watching videos, we're playing games, and wow.
It's just like the ignorance is bliss kind of thing. If you don't really think about it, it doesn't exist. That's why like a lot of people I feel like watch a lot of really reality TV show and stuff like that, is because it distracts them from the fact that things in their own life or things around them are not going well. It's cool to think, oh hey, these other people are living cool. I ain't gotta worry about the ice cap. I ain't gotta worry about the fact that I'm, late on my rent or whatever. Like Kardashians, we're here.
Unbelievable.
It really is. It really is unbelievable. That's why I think a lot of your work resonates with me, especially when you make statements about social media and technology, and it's looked at through a dystopian lens. Like, I really appreciate that. And I wanted to ask you also, because you have also pieces that feature, it's like the commercials, and they show like the ladies from the 50s, and they just have these big forced fake smiles, but then you look and see what she's cooking, and it's a big technological mess, and it's machinery and all of this around her. Know your opinion. Do you think just the way everybody is now, as far as forgetting all the important stuff and focusing on the newest thing, do you think that's something that social media has perpetuated? Or do you think with new technology, like you say, even from what was popular in the 50s, do you think that's always been a thing, to where we were like, oh, this is exploding over here, but I got a brand new television?
It's always, as you said, it's always been the same, but now it's dangerous. We're hitting a danger point. Unfortunately, my generation of, boomers, man, we were hippies, and look what happened to us. God, wow. It's all me, gimme.
Mm-hmm.
And fuck you, basically.
Basically.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And that doesn't work. Because
No.
fuck you is also fuck me. We're all gonna suffer when the planet dies. Really?
Yes, seriously.
But I grew up with the 50s black and white TV and the commercials with these middle class with the blue font, and they have these, and they're all housewives, and they're all making perfect dinners, and they're all having perfect laundry. And it was very funny because my mom, who had to work and 2 kids, was a mess. She was a total mess. She was not perfect at all. And when company came, she said, company comes, and we used to shove all the crap under the beds and stuff. We used to hide stuff to make it look like the house was clean. It was very funny. So my mom was the anti-housewife, and I was growing up with this image of this perfect, and technology is going to free the woman to be the perfect housewife. Oh yeah. I just play. It's my revenge, basically, on that shit.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Another thing, like with that and social media, is that you can also say that social media tries to make people fit this mold of what people say they want. It's just a lot, because if you look at social media and like the housewives on television and stuff, they try to portray that's how women should act. And social media is doing the same thing on a wider scale. It's like how people in general should act.
And how they should look.
Right, and how they should look.
Exactly.
It's basically the Stepford Wives, but it's reality TV now. They already was telling people that this is gonna happen. It's just actually happening now.
Yeah.
Right. Speaking of that, me and Joshua just watched. This is our first time seeing the Stepford Wives like 2 days ago.
Is it not the craziest shit you've ever watched?
It's crazy, but it's so real.
Perfect. It's well done. I just caught what it was about. No fuss.
Nothing. You just do what you're supposed to do. Exactly.
Yeah, I'm like, this is trash.
It's crazy. And then Laurie, it's funny that looking at your work, because when I was in school, I tried to make an attempt at trying to make a statement about that, like social media stuff, with one of my pieces. And it's somewhere in the house. I think I could find it. But it was like I did a zombie, and I had an IV in them and the IV bag was like a phone, and the battery, it was on the battery dying. And then he had a shirt on with the Twitter bird, but the Twitter bird was upside down, and it had the X for the eyes. So like it's turning, you turn you into a zombie almost, like you just walking around, like literally people walk on their phones and don't pay attention to it. Like you become a zombie. So I totally appreciate your work.
And it always distracts you. You're totally distracted, so you don't have to know what's going on. And then they could do whatever people in power can do whatever the fuck they want with us. They could just whatever. But I think, Marcus, I just finished a drawing. It was a commission, and it's called Feed, and it's on my website under the series Techno-rococo, and it's a guy with feed bags hanging from the ceiling, and he plugged into social media. I think you'd like it. You should.
I'm gonna definitely check that.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna see if I can go grab it.
But Laura, do you have the feed drawn? Can you project that? Because I was gonna bring it up.
I don't.
Hold on. Okay. I'm thinking if I can. I'm on your website now.
On my website. It's easier to find.
Okay, yeah. We'll definitely have to. I'm gonna definitely have to check that out.
Because that's also like another drawing of yours that I love. Because it's just.
Oh, right.
What is it called?
Yeah. Feed.
Okay.
Medical bags, and he's being
commission work. I'm looking for it on your site. Hopefully I find it.
And then Techno-rococo, and then I think it's the first one or so.
Okay. Tea time, unplugged, range, happy hour, leftover, platters.
Is it the last one?
I'm going all the way down to the last one. Risen Sun.
Maybe it's under commission, because it was a commission.
Yeah.
I'm under commission work right now, so.
Go to Techno-rococo then.
Okay, hold on.
Because it's technological. That's why I want to put it under there.
Let's go to Techno.
I think
I found it.
Oh, you found it?
Yep. Hold on. Oh, we'll see if this works. I was like, let's see if this works. So, do you see it? This is what it looks like.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's
cool. Well done.
Aha.
Excelsior. We got it.
Yeah.
Underneath 100 million likes. Ooh.
Ooh, the clown memory. I love that.
Yeah, that one too.
Oh, there's the process behind the scenes.
That's nice. That's news. Oh, yeah, it says news.
Let me show Marcus because he just got back. Here it is. Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Why is it green? Oh, no.
Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah.
Why is it green?
There it
is.
There it is.
Oh, that is awesome.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
I just love the intricacies of all the buttons and stuff. And just how long did that take?
Everyone asks, how long does that take? And I used to make up stuff because I have no idea. If I knew how long it would take, it would depress me.
Cool.
If I looked at a huge piece of paper and thought, if I work on that 10 hours a day for 3 months, I might finish it. I wouldn't start. I would just think, oh, no, I don't want to.
So you just don't think about it at all.
I don't think about it.
Just whenever it's done, it's done.
Exactly. And I only do a little section. First, I do the cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
I make it because I'm making it up. So it has to look right. And guess what? I went to one of the best art schools in the US, and they didn't teach me perspective.
What? Really?
That is insane.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So I could have taught myself perspective, but I'm still a little, so my perspective is slightly off, which I like. I like it like that. But still, it takes 1,000 million years to get something to look right. Yeah.
Yeah, perspective is hard. Like I still can't master it, and I've been drawing since I was like 10.
Oh, good. All right. So yeah,
there's a
second opinion right there. Yeah.
It's very difficult.
That's crazy. I'm just like upset that they skipped over that part. Like
look, they teach it to you. It's weird how they teach it, because when I was doing art as my major at first, before I changed it, in drawing one, they taught you like how to do shapes and contour lines and all that. But when it comes to perspectives, she literally gave us a piece of paper that showed you, okay, this is what perspectives is, and you could try it. She's go home for homework and try and see if you could do it. And she gave us like some tracing paper or something so we could trace the shapes and stuff. And I was like, what the hell? I was like, I can't learn how, because I was like, I don't know what I'm doing.
It gave you a riddle, like a mystery riddle.
Yeah.
Like, figure it out. I can't tell you how to do it, but I'll give you these tools and maybe you can stumble into it.
Man, it went in my sketchbook so fast and was closed.
And in order to have something look like it's real in space,
Right.
you have to get the perspective right. Otherwise, really, I do, not other people, just me personally.
So how long did it take
the
you to
most
get
important part?
Yeah.
Oh, it is. How long before you were confident with perspective? Since you didn't get learn it in class.
I'm not confident. Touch and go. You know what? This guy recently, I think it was about 8 years ago. Okay, he does these huge signs out like billboards and things, and he showed me string theory, which is you put the string here and then you like do it like that, and that's how I get for my big pieces. So it's approximate perspective.
Got you. Okay.
A little bit of science in there.
Exactly. No, you got to do it the best way you can. Like I said, that's it. That just is so insane that you didn't learn that.
I didn't get taught in school. Nuts.
Yeah, that's insane.
This seems so weird,
You pay to go
man.
to school and they don't teach you.
They don't teach you the most important thing at all. Hey, you know what? Just paint on the wall. It's all right. You know, you'll get the perspective later. That comes with age, time, and years.
My professors used to call me my medieval friend because I was the only one who used, a figurative work. Everyone else was just splashing the shit on.
So what would you say would be the biggest lesson that you did learn from your time in school?
I'm not as stupid as I look. What happened was three of us, we were honor student because I just worked a lot. I like drawing or painting, whatever it was, art was lovely. We made a proposal to the faculty because they used to have a program called Junior Year Abroad where they would exchange students to another country. So you would put a student in London and you put it in a school. And we made a proposal saying, what if we didn't go to a school? What if we just traveled around Europe and presented a portfolio at the end of the year and got a year's credit? Now, we didn't think they would say yes. They said yes.
That's insane.
Are you
serious? That's crazy.
And we were all on scholarship. So they had to pay for it.
Hey.
So I called up my mom. I was very young for my age. I wouldn't have let me cross the street alone. But I called up my mom and I said, Mom, I'm going to Europe with these two kids and we're going to just travel around. She went, no, you're not. No, you're not. So I wrote the most amazing letter to my mother. It was really good. I said, I understand. I totally understand that you will not give me this opportunity of a lifetime, like Jewish guilt. Just poured it on. She let me go. And we went, and the two other students I went with, they didn't really, I think they came home early. But man, oh my God. I rented this this farmhouse in the south of France, and I had a little motor scooter. I had no money. I was eating like bread and water. I had nothing, but I was having a good time. And Europe, and to see the artwork in actual right there. I went to Italy and I saw Michelangelo's David under a dome of light.
Wow.
And I saw it in public for the first time ever. It was like, oh my God, he did this out of a piece of marble. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. And it was like being locked in a candy store. I didn't want to come home. I established myself in Aix-en-Provence. I had a waitress job. I had an exhibition planned in a tiny cafe. I had all this stuff, and I called my mom and I said, I'm not coming back to finish university. And she said, yes, you are. So I did. My mother was fearsome. She was very fearsome. But anyway, I came back for that one last year, cut all my classes. First of all, they gave me a year's credit. Oh no, actually the other two students only did half the amount of work I did combined.
Oh, wow.
So they gave me a year and a half credit.
Nice.
Wow.
And
That's awesome.
I came back fluent in French. So I got academic credit as well as studio and art credit.
Hey, that's cool.
I didn't have to go to class that much. So I locked the door of a studio. I got the studio in one of the arts buildings, and I just drew, and it was fabulous. And the minute I graduated, I left and I went to Holland because there was an experimental theater company that they were going from the university to Holland. So I went with them. I was their artist.
Oh,
And
wow.
So
That's an amazing experience.
Yeah.
I wish I could do that. Just be like, hey guys, I'm just gonna go to California, man, for the rest of the semester.
You know what happened? When we came back, everyone wanted to go.
I bet.
Stay in Pittsburgh, really. So everyone applied to go to do what we did, and so they had to stop it. They couldn't do it.
Yeah. Because they were like, everybody was shocked. They were like, how did you guys pull that off? Like, seriously?
I don't know. It was weird.
You went on vacation and not only got enough credits for your art program,
but your language.
You got enough academic credits to not do anything for the rest of the year.
Exactly.
That's insane. That's crazy.
I attended the French class and just took the test. I didn't even go to class. I just took the test for the credit.
So
I was really, because I had to work in French. I had a waitress in French, and you learn French when you have to work doing it.
Yeah.
That's a quote somewhere.
Right. More or less the win in Rome, but like for language.
Yeah.
Seriously, if you gotta try to get something to eat, you better learn really fast. So I
like,
understand.
what can I get on the menu that I know?
Right. Exactly. So can't say baguette forever. You gotta have something else.
Or croissant or whatever. You keep saying that forever. You get tired of those after a while, man. You start thinking, man, what else is on this menu I can't read?
Hey, that's nothing. I also waitress Dutch. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And anytime I feel like stuff is hard for me right now, I have to remind myself that I used to be able to waitress speaking Dutch for Dory, really.
Wow. So how long did it take you to learn Dutch, like fluently? That's crazy.
And if they heard an accent, they speak to you in your own language, because everyone there speaks 5 languages.
Wow.
Wow.
2-year-olds speak 5 languages.
Wow.
I had to be persistent. I had to really be persistent. And it's funny, I used to speak French fluently. I used to speak Dutch fluently. And now I can't even speak English fluently.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh, so you lost it? You can't really speak French fluently like that anymore?
I understand people, but my mouth doesn't work anymore. It just, my brain doesn't work anymore, actually. Yeah.
Oh man.
I mean when you don't have to use it, you kind of happens that way. Yeah.
Because I've been taking Spanish. I can't tell you anything. I don't know anything. So I get it. I was just talking about that the other day. Like I said, I barely know. I'm good. I would have to retake, because I had to take Spanish to graduate from college, Spanish 1 and 2. Don't remember any of it.
We didn't have to use it. That's why. If you have to use it, you get acclimatized to it.
Yeah, you take a conversational Spanish class, and you'll understand how the levels are. And you got to actually use it in conversation. True. Like, I never took one, but I know a friend. He was like, "Yeah, that's hard. Like, you think Spanish 3 is hard? Oh, conversational Spanish is something else." I'm like, "Oh, I'm glad I got Spanish 2, and I was done."
Man, but like, I gotta get better. I want to speak. Oh, wait.
Yeah, Josh done left. He's like, "Nah, I'm out." Yeah, I think he's back in the flesh. So I think he's all right. He didn't
cool.
get removed.
All right, cool.
If you realize what I was doing for a while was I was using Duolingo, which is a really good app.
Me too.
Not sponsored by Duolingo, by the way, but if they wanted to give us
if they want to give us some money,
I will do it all for all the monies. Okay, you hear me, Duolingo? We are right here. We're here.
Oh, yeah,
all right, anyway, but yeah, it's a really good app because it keeps you on there and you have to continue doing it because you're competing with other people. And I was doing Korean for a minute until I got busy, but it's not too hard. Like, I walked myself in a little bit back because I knew a little bit of Korean back when I was overseas, but forgot it because I didn't have to use it. So now I'm just like, I remember that. But the language it's not easy, but it's not hard. It's, after a while you kind of go, oh, okay, I kind of get the.
Well, when you're living in it and everyone's speaking it and it's on TV and it's on the radio, it's banged into your head, so it's easier to learn.
Exactly.
I bet.
I lived in London for 26 years, and that is a different language as well. It is. They use different vocabulary. When I first got there, someone was saying, I got so pissed, I fell down the stairs, and I thought, oh my God, he got so angry, he fell down the stairs? He was drunk.
Oh, that's what they call it.
Yeah, and I didn't know that. There's all kinds of crazy discrepancies that I couldn't make out. And even now, I have trouble when I came back to the USA in 2011. And I still I say bin instead of garbage. Bag. And someone said, I'll meet you on the first floor. Oh, see, I still am confused because the first floor is the ground floor in the UK.
Oh, okay. That makes sense, yeah.
I was they were on the ground floor and I was on the first, I don't know, but I still don't get that correct anyway. It's all crazy vocabulary but it's interesting looking at the USA from another country. And I lived in Europe for 36 years.
Wow.
Older than all you guys.
I know, right? I just turned 30, so.
Yeah, I got a couple of years till 30, okay?
I got a couple of years till 32.
So. Okay.
We're not old
babies. They're all little babies. But even though I was in Europe for 36 years, I was still drawing about the United States.
Wow.
Yeah. And about what was going on there. And I got all the news from their TV.
Oh,
okay.
So it was a different slant too.
Oh yeah.
No, that'd be interesting to see how they cover American news and just it's gotta be wild.
Yeah, sometimes it's funny.
They're just acting crazy over there. I don't know.
God, yeah. When Bush was elected, I had to apologize for being an American.
Wow.
Because they thought, how could you do that? I went, I didn't do it.
It's not my fault.
Not me. I knew that.
I wasn't even there.
Right. I've been here the whole time.
I've been here for X amount of years. I ain't seen America since. Like, that ain't me.
I'm just minding my own business drawing. But it was very interesting to see my country through other countries' eyes. Yeah. And then coming back here, and the news here is just, wow. It's so bad.
It's pretty bad.
They're aiming for 5-year-olds here. It's
seriously,
Even so I watched the BBC news, but they dumbed it down for America. It's very funny.
So everything here is just like completely sugar coated and
oh God, yeah,
rainbows and crazy. Yeah,
our news is super sugar coated. That's not even an understatement. I'm like, geez,
that's crazy. Especially since quarantine and all that kind of stuff. Like, it's crazy. At a certain point, I found that you're being like in public health and all that kind of stuff. I had to you got to have a break from it. You really do, because it's just like you said, Laurie, early on in the podcast, you're not getting correct information. Sometimes people are dependent upon whatever sides you're on politically. You get this politically driven news, but COVID's acting differently over here because we're in this party. It's like, what's the truth? What's going on? So it's a lot of that. It gets to be crazy.
You can prove anything online. If you think the earth is flat, you can go online and find scientific articles that prove the earth is flat. There was one thing, it was said the flat earthers are meeting all around the globe. That was very funny.
It's like, see, y'all done messed up with the wording. Y'all can't,
Yeah, y'all caught yourself mid little post. You were like, wait, I said around. And then you just posted it anyway. Like you didn't
right. Be like Ted, it's too late. It's already out there.
You can't delete it. It's on the internet now, man. You can't delete things on the internet. They stay forever. Like
it's a bunch of craziness.
With the internet, it's very interesting.
Yeah.
It is.
It is.
It's just weird how if enough people say something, it becomes a thing. Like it was also like this news article where there was this nationwide Josh fight.
Yeah, that became a real thing.
And everybody named Josh. Everybody named Josh. I wasn't there, by the way, but everybody named Josh.
Stop lying.
Are you sure?
Yeah, you got to take it out early in the competition. You got to take it out early in the competition. You walked home.
But yeah, like everybody named Josh was like giving this address to come to this particular field to just
have a Josh fight.
Yeah, fight out for the main supreme Josh. You know, the only one that could be called Josh in the world.
Need only one remaining Josh.
Exactly. There's only enough room for one of them.
For so one guy.
There's only enough room for one, man.
We only need one.
You never get two Joshes. You never get two Joshes in a friend group. You only get one.
It's funny that a lot of the kids online, my social media following, a lot of them accuse me of being anti-technology, which is very funny because I'm on technology and they're accusing me on technology, and my work is about technology. But I'm not. I love science, technology. Wow, that stuff is just, I love science fiction. I grew up with science fiction. Science fiction is about your imagination moving around the future. It's fabulous stuff. Star Trek had the phones before we did, and the swooshing open doors before we did.
Right.
Gene Roddenberry invented that stuff in his mind. So I'm all for that. I'm all for science, imagination, all that stuff. I'm just greedy little bastards, the greedy little mofos who are running around taking, it's unbelievable. And we let them, because there's more of us than them. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's like I said, the technology is great, but it's just like the implications of what people use it for sometimes. It's really unfair. But like you said, there's more of us than there are of them. But at the same point in time, it's like these are the same guys that put this technology out there for us. So it's just like, what are you gonna do? It's crazy. Work in a backs against the wall kind of situation, you know?
Yeah. And how important technology is now. Like you can't unplug because there's certain things for work or something. You got to continually be plugged in it. So you can't go I'm going off the grid because eventually for work you'll have to get back on the grid to make a phone call or something. You know, or send out a text message. Or something.
And, I left the house one day without my phone, and I was like, I spent most of my 20s without a phone in my pocketbook or wherever. I left the house because I couldn't. It was on a landline. I couldn't, take it with me. So this kind of addiction, we're addicted. They made us addicted, or we made ourselves addicted, or whatever. It's very interesting and sad too.
Yeah,
it is, because I'm the one. I'll be like, man, all of this technology is stupid. I'm not into all of that at all, but let me check my email real quick. Like it's one of those things you just literally can't get away from it.
It's crazy because what people are saying is with the accessibility or the amount of things you can do with technology, the dumber we are as a society. As the stupider we are becoming, because you can outsource a lot of things through technology that you don't have to do. You don't have to remember a phone number anymore. you got your whole contact list. You don't have to really know a lot about anybody. You can just look it up on the list. You don't have to retain a lot of information on anything.
Yeah, you don't have to add and subtract, thank God. You know, you can
you pull out a calculator.
Right. Look, because I'm terrible at math, Laurie. I don't know about you.
I'm telling you.
I literally said yesterday,
at
I don't
math.
feel like doing the math, and I pulled out my calculator.
Here's how deep it is for me, Laurie. Don't laugh at me, but I was taking an exam. And just so I can make sure, it was a calculus exam. I put 1 + 1 in the calculator. I'm sorry. I'm just like, I'm not going to fail. I got to make sure I'm getting, I don't care.
This is coming from a man who's getting to get his master's.
Yeah, 1 + 1, 2. I got it.
Okay,
right.
hold on.
I'm not afraid to admit
I totally identify with that. I'm sorry. I'm laughing too.
Chad, was you over there like this, doing it in the air?
Yes, man. Like,
that'd be crazy. He does
Slide
a
in the
full like.
pebbles.
Look, taking these like advanced math exams is really stressful. Okay, like serious.
I wouldn't know.
I look like I said, I'm horrible at math. But Laurie, I wanted to ask you. That's a great transition. I wanted to ask you about some of your other works because I'm just really into some of the different, just like groupings of art that you had, like that have different subject matter. In particular, a lot of your work features like deceased individuals, like either dressed up or in groups. And the way I could describe it, I guess, is representing like a dignity in death. Yeah, exactly. Just like that. So I wanted to know, like, what inspired you to depict mortality in this way?
My mom died. And she died of lung cancer, which is a terrible way to die.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how to grieve. And my culture, Jewish New Yorkers, you don't grieve. You eat and you get on with life. Even our society, we don't know how, we are not taught to grieve. So I didn't know how to handle the emotions of it. It was very difficult. And people were avoiding me because they didn't know what to say to me. Someone's came up to me and said, "I'm sorry your mom died, but that's life."
Wow.
Is it?
Okay.
All right.
I said, "No, it isn't. It's death." But she was trying to be nice, but people don't know language. So I was living in London. I went back and a Spanish friend of mine, Maria Jose, she said to me, "Come, we're going to Mexico. I want to show you the Day of the Dead festival." And I went, "A festival about death? No, thank you. Aren't I suffering enough? No, thank you." She said, "Come on, you're going." She's very imperious. So I went, okay. So she took me around Mexico in the Day of the Dead festival. And I was so shocked. They treated death like it was natural, which it is. Yeah. And they made fun of it. They had it all over. People were dressing like skeletons. They had picnics on graves of their relatives. My mom she died in the hospital. There wasn't even a ceremony. My parents were not religious at all. So I had nothing, not even a grave, just bent on or anything. I went, wow. This is so fucking healthy. Wow. So I thought, I'm going to do a Day of the Dead show, only it's going to be New York Jewish. In other words, and it's going to be Liptonian. In other words, it's not going to be colorful. It's going to be sarcastic and dead. It's going to be dead. So I did this show about death. And I tried to show it in London and they wouldn't have it. They just and also this is in the year like 2000 or something. And I was trying to find an outfit to wear with a skull on it for the opening. There was nothing.
Oh wow.
Nothing.
Wow.
Now you can get baby diapers with skulls on them.
Literally.
Yeah, you can get anything with a skull on it nowadays.
Too much. But then I couldn't even get a t-shirt with a skull on it. Anyway. A Spanish TV show covered it. I had it in the Cervantes Institute, which is the Spanish Cultural Institute in London. They put it on. And the Mexican ambassador's wife did an ofrenda, like an altar for the dead, for the show, which was amazing. And I did that show, and it was a really big success, not in London, everywhere else, okay? And then I thought, oh, so I did another one and another one. And that's how the Day of the Dead started. And then I got t-shirts. Some very popular stores started doing a t-shirt line of it. It was crazy. But so that was one thing. And then I have phases, like when I grow up, certain things change. Like when I first started out in my 20s, I drew a lot about my poor mom. My mom and I had a very, Jewish mother. We had a tense relationship. And so I did a lot about my mom. Then I did stuff about just family and stuff, and growing old and growing up and leaving America. So all my stuff it's in these shows, because when you see it all at once, it tells a kind of story. If you go to my website, there's a new show that I'm working on. It's called May You Live in Interesting Times. And it's about the pandemic and who before President Biden. And I'm doing another show about that because that's another phase. So I'm letting my art take me. I don't have any control over it. It's so bizarre. My dad used to go, Laurie, why don't you add color? My grandma used to go, Laurie, I can't hang this over my sofa. Laurie, make something nice I can hang up. That kind of thing. But I had no control over what my art wanted to say. I just step aside and let it happen.
I definitely see it.
I get it.
So I hope that answered your question.
No, it did. It did. And just speaking of like your art, just having its own voice and just speaking for itself. I don't really know what it means, but I know like literally the first picture, the first piece that I saw of yours that was completely striking to me and just made me want to look at everything else was I think it's called Love Bite.
Oh God,
like,
yeah.
That is wow.
That's big. And that
really?
is, even when I was drawing it, when I come into my studio, I went, oh!
Right. It's like it's wild. It is wild. Did you see it, Demetrius? You looking at it now?
I'm about to look it up right now.
Yeah, Love Bite is crazy. It's awesome.
It's based on, I did a show about Goya.
Oh,
yeah.
It's actually, I found it because of the actual show. I'm looking at it. Yeah. I like it.
I had a show with Goya. Okay, are you impressed? Because I'm impressed. Not only did I have a show with Goya, I had top billing because the guy couldn't say anything really. But I was also in the Cervantes Institute, and a guy came with Goya's lithographs. He was handcuffed to the portfolio because these things hadn't left Spain ever. And he came to London. He had to sit in the show. He couldn't abandon them. He couldn't keep his eyes off them. He was paid to stay with the Goyas, not with the Liptons. They didn't give a flying what about the Liptons. But anyway, I did a whole show inspired by Goya's imagery. And one of Goya's paintings is Saturn eating his son. And I thought, Jewish mother. And my friend's mom was my model. My friend still is Chinese. So that's why the woman looks Chinese in this picture. I had a Chinese magazine printed that thing, and I got all this flack about what are you doing about Chinese children? It was like, but it was about a Jewish mother, basically. But anyway, so I did this picture of a mother eating her daughter. And it was huge. And at the show, a man came up to me and said, take that down. And I went, why? He said, that's disturbing. Take it down now. No.
I can just imagine you just laughing and like, no.
Nah,
yeah,
bro.
Like sounds like a hater to me.
Nah, I'm good. I'm going on.
And it's sold. I don't know who would live with that thing. I wouldn't. I mean,
no. I love it, but I couldn't wake up to seeing it. I couldn't wake up to seeing it.
It's intense.
I put it in my living room for sure. Like
I'm telling you, Joshua would. Yes, Joshua.
Yeah,
would
I can see him doing that.
Wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Josh just likes to be scared all the time. That's what it is. He loves to be
Yes.
scared all the time. That's what
I
it is.
just like that kind of stuff. Like this like really striking imagery. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's that one, and there's one more that I was freaking out about, and I showed Joshua. I can't remember the name. It's a picture of a kitchen, and the mother's in the kitchen, and around the corner is her baby with a full set of teeth holding a knife.
Yeah, that one was called Last Night I Dreamt I Murdered Mommy.
I wonder what that one was about.
I don't know. My poor mother, she always encouraged me. It's all her fault. She let me rip no matter what. They didn't censor me at all as a child. Usually you see children that they're drawing some weird stuff. You go, don't do that. I was really lucky because I was the only artist in my entire family, and they went, ooh, ooh, genius, genius. And they let me just draw what I wanted. So that was nice.
Yeah, that's a full-grown baby right there.
But Laurie, I think that's really cool that your parents really supported your passion so much, even from a really young age, because what happens, like I said, your art is beautiful. It's amazing. And I'm just in awe of it, really. Like, seriously, to be able to, just convey all of these like just intense feelings from a drawing. It's ridiculous. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is great.
And that's art. That's art.
Yeah, I'm just like I said, amazed you did all this with that little cross. Yeah, like I'm just like I'm looking at it now, and I'm just now that I know behind the scenes of how it gets done, I'm like,
yes,
that's way more impressive to me. It makes it way more like impressive. I'm like, wow,
especially like just being able to draw like not only just faces like this faces and faces, but the same face over and over with a perspective going back. Like I love Delusion Dwellers too.
Yeah,
because it's the same. It's like the same face.
Hold on. I think I have it. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Let me see. Oh yeah. In the middle of it, I was thinking, why am I doing this to myself? Why am I doing this to myself? This was very difficult. And that top bit around the sun thing there.
Yeah.
Right? That took 3 weeks to do with tiny little lines going around and around. Oh, it was nuts. It's totally nuts.
Yeah, that's great perspective right there.
No, that's fantastic perspective.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
That sold, and someone asked if they could commission another one, and I went, no, I don't care what you pay me. No.
I'm not doing it again. That's too much.
I understand. It's seriously repetitive. It's a lot of repetition.
So, do you get like hand cramps from doing all that though? Like your hands like cramp up from doing that so many times?
No, thank God.
Oh,
the only thing that's staying good in my old age is my eyesight and my left hand. So that's very good. Thank you, God. Whatever. Thank you. Going to hell in a handbag, but those two things are good. So.
Yeah,
that's good. That's good because my hand hurts just looking at it. So.
I can't even grasp the concept, but my hands hurt too.
No, seriously. And I love the way you convey light too. Like it's just crazy.
Thank you.
Right.
Yeah.
And
were you about to say something, Josh?
Yeah, and not only just like how extremely complex the drawing is, but just like thinking about what the message could be. Because like all of them are basically like they're not really the same face, but they're the same as far as what they wear and their hairstyles, and they're all looking at the same thing. And you could say, yeah, that can be like social media too, or not even social media, like the news, because like we got all these people like looking at the same thing, and this one central thing they look at, they base all of their own personal ideologies over those things.
There's one guy, I don't know if you can see him. I always hide stuff in my drawings. There's one guy who doesn't look like them. He's crouching down.
Oh, he's right there. I think I see him. I see him.
I hide stuff. There's one guy, a guy bought one of my drawings, and he called me up 6 years later and said, oh my God, there's someone under the table. Yeah, I hide stuff.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And so that's crazy, just like to find something brand new. You've walked past this painting a million times or this picture a million times, and you're just like, oh, wait a second. That? Was that there the whole time? Like,
and that's so unlike modern art right now, because you can go into a museum and look at a stripe, a red stripe or a blue ball, and just look at it and move on, and you've seen it. So my work is very anti-modern art, because you have to look at it. You have to actually and consider it, and it takes time to look at it.
That's why that's punk rock. You know what I'm saying? That's anti-establishment. That's why we love your work so much.
That's how you get stuff like this. Is it? Oh, it's upside down, but yeah, like this. Yeah, you know.
Exactly.
That's how you get this madness. So yes, I understand.
Yeah, man, that's it right there, bro. That's
when you go to like modern art thing, they just have one breaststroke and they're like, oh, we're done. Yeah. No. Or that one where they have the banana? No hate, but they had a banana like duct tape to the thing. Oh, yeah. And that was the art. Yeah. No hate, but I was like, I don't get it. But
recently, I don't remember where it was. The artist stole pictures and money and said that was his art piece from the museum.
Wow.
What did he get? I gotta know the rest of that story.
Did he get in trouble for that?
It's why not? Everyone's doing whatever.
Like if you look in your pockets, your wallets are gone.
And that's the art. That's the art right there. That's the art. It's not magic. It's art. Like my art of pocket.
Oh my goodness. But Laurie, we don't have any sense at all. We're crazy. It's just one of those. Yeah. It's just one of those things.
We're all crazy here. She joined us. We joined our craze.
We're all on the same planet, I think.
Exactly. Except for Dmitri. I don't know what planet he's on right now.
Oh, he's in space. He's
I'm in space, man.
He hasn't figured it out yet.
He's circling the planet.
Yeah, I'm circling right now. I'm chilling. You know, it's still early in the day for me.
But another thing I want to talk about, Laurie, is your quote. It was, drawing is easy when you don't know how, but very difficult when you do. Like, where did that come from?
I stole that from Degas. He said, painting is easy when you don't know how, but very difficult when you do. So I stole it from him, basically. But he's dead. He can't sue me. So
there you go. There's always that. So
didn't put nothing on no copyright,
nothing. But the thing is, people draw and they go beep and they draw. But when you really get into drawing and what a pencil can do, people have said to me, don't you want to paint? No, it's so challenging. It's really challenging to make an entire world with grays.
Yes.
That's challenging. And it's so much easier to use color. It's so much easier because color moves you forwards and back very easily. You can fool the viewer. Red is hot and blues are cool, and you could just get away with everything with color. And black and white is so much harder to do.
It's rough. Yeah.
You know that, and you attempt it. It's really tough. Some kids said to me, oh, I want to draw like you. What kind of paper do you use? And I said, honey, doesn't matter what paper you use. You got to go into a room, lock the door, and draw for 50 years on anything. And then ask me about the paper.
There you go. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Exactly. And also, is it that are you just not a big fan of the mess of paint and all that other stuff too?
No, as I said, just my life led me to this horrible way of torturing myself. I didn't want to make my life hard by doing disturbing black and white pencil drawings. I would much rather made a lot of money very quickly, fashionably. I'd much rather be fashionable and no, I wouldn't. But anyway, my life led me to this. I didn't leave myself to, I do on occasion, I say, oh, I want to do this, I want to do, and then go, no, we're not doing that. I can't control this thing. It's in the beginning, I fought it. I fought my art.
Wow.
And then I just thought, I'm powerless and I'm just going to let it lead me. And this is what happened. I could have led me to digital art. It could have led me to painting. It didn't. The schmuck led me to this. You hear me? You're a schmuck. It's difficult what I do. But I enjoy it so much. And the fact that I get to do it all day, every day. People say to me, oh my God, you work so much, but this isn't work. Waitressing was work. Working in a box office was work. That was work. This is playing. I am so grateful that I get to do this. It's wonderful. So you're not a schmuck.
Well, we think it's we think it's awesome. Like you talk about how much passion and the hours, the crazy amounts of hours that you put into your work, but you also say that it's fun. And we definitely feel that through your art, because even though a lot of the imagery is just, it really catches your eye, but at the same time, like you said, some of it is satire. It's very playful. It's definitely it has a lot of life in it, so we can completely see all the fun that you're having. We think it's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
definitely. But I have to know, what brand of eraser do you use?
Ooh.
Well, I use an eraser. It's a refill eraser, that white. And you can carve a point into it.
Yeah. They use it for like when you do charcoal and all that. Yeah. I got one of those somewhere. Yeah.
But I use every eraser. I don't care. I use every pencil on earth. I don't care.
Yeah.
So you don't have a specific anything.
Don't have a specific brand. She's like,
I do refill mechanical pencils like Pentel.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so it is kind of finite.
And I also use Caran d'Ache charcoal pencils as well.
Oh, okay.
Like this one here, the front row is a little bit of charcoal pencil. And so it gives it more depth.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I can. So a little bit of like multimedia going on there. I see it. That's awesome.
If you give like chunky black, and then it goes back, and the very back is 2H. It's the artist lead. So that's the H's are the cold colors, and the B's, the chunkier ones, are the warm colors, because that brings everything forwards.
I like that.
And it's like painting. It is like painting.
No, I see. It's just, like I said, it's definitely amazing. Like I said, the stuff that you do, I still can't believe it. So,
yeah, I know how the sausage is made, and I still can't believe how it's done. Oh my god.
It just completely in shock. But
no, definitely. Like, well, Laurie, I could definitely say you've inspired me to get back into traditional art, because I pretty much shifted towards digital for the past year or so. And I don't know why.
You gotta know where your art leads you. Just go with it. You don't know.
Yeah.
No, I think the same thing. I'm gonna get off my lazy butt and start back to drawing, because I have been tortured the whole podcast. You guys,
no, I'll act like you don't do this crap. You just factor real nice on the podcast right now. Let's be frank.
He been saying that for 3 years now.
Right?
Hey, I gotta try to get some sympathy in where I can. I gotta try.
And it's not working.
Oh,
he's not buying it, bro.
Not buying it at all. I tried. See I had a little tear coming and everything.
Oh man.
We couldn't see it, dude. I'm sorry. Like you failed because you couldn't see it in the camera. So like that's why it didn't work.
Dang.
Next time you gotta pull the camera up and be like, see the tear. It's right there. Gotta zoom it in. Gotta get a camera with a zoom in on it, bro.
I'm gonna try harder. I'm gonna try harder for the sympathy card next time.
Yeah.
But Laurie, we wanted to ask you one more thing before we let you go. And forgive me, I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but you state that though like not always direct, that your art is a representation of your experiences and a means to express internalized feelings. In other words, it's better out than in. So I just just wanted to know, like, many years from now, when there's only your art to speak for you, what you want your body of work as a whole to say about Laurie Lipton?
That's a very good question. But the thing is, I have no control over what other people think of my art. Once it leaves my hand, it's gone. And everyone looks at art differently. I could go into a museum with my brother and we could look at the same goddamn thing and get totally different things from it. Totally. And people have come up to me at exhibitions and said, what does this mean? And I would say, what do you think it means? And they tell me their life story. And then they'd look at me and go, is that right? And I'd go, yes. Because, the more I put myself in, this is very interesting conundrum, the more personal, the more subjective, the more honest I can be with my art, the more it'll hit other people. So subjective that I'm objective in a way. Isn't that weird? Right. That is very weird. It's like Michelangelo's David. That guy did that piece of sculpture like centuries ago. And here I am, a New York Jew, walking into that gallery and going, wow, how did that happen? How did that guy who had no relationship to my life whatsoever, we couldn't have had different lives, even if I was from Mars. It was just totally different life experiences. His art hit me. How did that happen? That's what I ask myself when I go into museums. What makes a masterpiece? What makes something eternal? What makes something timeless? I have no control over that. Whatever lasts will last. I don't know. And I don't know what people are going to say about me or say about my artwork. That's not my concern. My concern is my next drawing, period.
Awesome.
That's beautifully worded.
Couldn't have asked for a more perfect answer.
Right.
But thank you so much, Laurie, for coming out. Like, this has been, if you haven't been able to tell, I've been wide smiling the whole time. So this has been a crazy experience.
So have I. I've loved meeting you guys. I love this. This was very nice. Thank you.
Yeah, this was an amazing podcast.
Thank you.
Yes, you are very welcome.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you very much. Because for the life of me, I've been struggling with charcoal. And it's just amazing how you're just able to capture all those intricacies with it. It's great.
Only a question of time. You only have to spend 50 years on it. That's all, Joshua.
Put the time there. Put the 50 years down, dude. Right now. Put them down.
You better start now, Joshua.
Lock yourself in your room today.
Well, I'm 22,
man.
So
yeah, you can make it. That's great.
Yeah. We naturally live through about that age, around 70ish. So you can do it.
Yeah, I can do it.
You'll come out and you'll be 70 years old, and the world will be different. But you've spent the time, so your art will be revolutionary, man.
Exactly. What's 50 years?
Right. What's a drop in the bucket? Am I right?
Exactly. Yes.
Oh man, but definitely, Laurie, before we head out, let all of our viewers and listeners, all that good stuff, let them know your website, where they can find you on social media, where they can buy your art. If you have anything coming up, let them know everything.
All right, my website is www.laurielipton.com, and that's Laurie, Laurie. My mother had great faith in me. That's why she made me spell it so long. And I'm on Instagram at Laurie Lipton Drawings, and Facebook for the old fogies at Laurie Lipton Art, I think. And I got a new book. I got a coffee table book coming out in 2022. But I will post all the shit that's going on my website and on my Instagram. So if you want to keep in touch, just do it there. And I engage with people. I like reacting and acting with people who get in touch with me and stuff. So it's a good way to keep in touch. I also, if you're in LA, I got a quickie exhibition in November at Cal State LA. November 1st to the 17th. So stop by and say hi.
Awesome. And we will, of course, just like every week, guys, we will put all of that information in the description. So you are very welcome, Laurie. And yes, for all of our viewers and listeners out there, you can catch this podcast along with all of our other wonderful podcasts on our website, and that will be squareroundtablepod.fandomlim.com. And one more time for all of our people out there, that is squareroundtablepod.fandomlim.com. Go ahead, Dmitri.
You can catch us on YouTube anytime. And if you like the video, smack that like button. Leave us a comment about anything we talked about, and whether you've seen her artwork or now, since you've been able to see her backdrops, you now see her work for the first time. And let us know what you think about all this stuff, technology-wise. Are you pro-technology? Are you anti? You're living out there hearing this on like a radio, just holding the wires up like this, getting the podcast that way? Perfectly fine. It's cool. We love the support out there. Join us on all our socials, our Twitters, our Instagram, and that pesky Facebook group that is literally dying. In a technological age, when we're having all this involvement, our Facebook group is dead. It is a zombie right now. We are trying to bring it back to life. Come in there, talk with us, give us more interaction than our parents do right now. Oh yeah, make sure to share the video because that helps us out a lot. And hit the notification bell underneath the video on the right side so you get notified of this video and our future ones, because YouTube algorithm is crazy.
They don't like us.
Yeah, they hate us for some reason. I don't know what it is.
They don't like our
cat video with a backflip, and they were like, no. Get off the platform.
Oh my goodness. But yes, guys, just like my brother and Dmitri just said, follow us on all of our social media accounts. And yeah, guys, please contribute to our dying Facebook group. We need more friends. And with that being said, though, man, yes, talk to us. But you okay, Dmitri?
I will definitely friend you guys. I will definitely friend you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You very much.
See, Laura, you are awesome. You are amazing. Thank you. And we had such a great time, guys. And before we go ahead and head out, I would love everybody, including our awesome guests, to introduce themselves one more time before we head out. And I am your host, Chad Singleton.
Dmitri.
I'm Josh Singleton. Hashtag yes, hashtag no.
And I'm Marcus.
And I'm Laurie Lipton, a humble genius.
Nice.
Yes. And this has been the Score Roundtable, guys. We are out.
Peace.
Peace.